Hi, folks. Welcome to today's AI briefing. My name is Tom, and in the AI briefing podcast, we talk about tips and support for executives and people trying to cut through the noise and better understand what's going on in the AI landscape. Today, we're going to talk about the 95% problem and why your AI pilot isn't becoming a product. In August 2025, MIT published research analyzing 150 different executive interviews, 350 survey employees, and 300 public AI departments. They found that approximately 95% of generative AI pilots fail to achieve rapid revenue acceleration. The vast majority stall, delivering little to no profit and loss impact. The thing is, this isn't a technology failure. Of course, sometimes it may be, but largely it is not a technology failure. It's a scaling failure. These 2025 workplace research found nearly 8 in 10 companies have deployed GenAI in some form. Just like we were talking yesterday about stuff inside Outlook or larger help desk tools, those types of things. Yet the same percentage report no material impact on earnings. IBM's study in May 2025 of CEOs say only 25% of AI initiatives have delivered expected ROI and just 16% have scaled enterprise-wide. The Deloitte's 2025 survey, most organizations report achieving satisfactory ROI on a typical AI use case within 2 to 4 years, far longer than the 7 to 12 month payback typically expected for technology investments. Only 6% reported payback in under a year. Now, why do these pilots stall? So McKinsey identified a core issue as an imbalance between horizontal and vertical use cases. What does these mean, of course? Horizontal deployments are enterprise-wide co-pilots, chatbots, general productivity tools that scale quickly because they're easy to deploy, but they deliver diffuse, hard-to-measure gains. Like, how do you know what your improvement in performance is when you're using a chatbot to ask it questions versus if you just went to figure it out? Vertical deployments, though, are function-specific applications that transfer how actual work gets done, and about 90% remain stuck in pilot mode. The pattern is that organizations bolt on AI to existing workflows rather than redesigning workflows around AI capabilities. Sound familiar? That predicts at least 30% of Gen AI projects will be abandoned after proof of concept by 2025's end. Of course, we're now in 2026, so we'll find out, I'm assuming from Gartner, whether or not that came true, due to poor data quality, inadequate risk controls, and escalating costs or unclear business value, because everybody needs a Gen AI solution may not actually fit. So what does successful scaling look like? MIT's research found purchase solutions delivered more reliable results than custom-built tools, yet almost everywhere researchers went, enterprises are trying to build their own because it's their IP, they can do the thing. Obviously, they know how to deploy it better than everyone else. Sometimes it's easier to just go buy the thing off the shelf. Key success factors identified: empowering line managers, not just central AI labs, to drive adoption, and selecting tools that integrate deeply and adapt over time. Like we were saying yesterday, there is not one size fits all in all this. If you can find the thing that works for the thing that you're trying to do, that makes sense. Harvard Business Review reports only 26% of companies have developed working AI products and only 4% have achieved significant returns. The difference between 4% and the rest isn't the better technology. It's a clearer connection between the AI initiative and the business problem someone would pay to solve. So here are 3 questions that hopefully help guide you when it's identify which pilots deserve investment. Question number 1. Does this pilot solve a problem that we'd pay to fix? Many pilots start with what can AI do rather than what problem costs us money. If the pilot disappeared tomorrow, would anyone outside the AI team actually notice? The pilots worth scaling address workflow pain that existed before AI was an option, not just as magic from AI narrative. It does things better for us. Question 2 is, can we measure impact in terms the CFO cares about? Productivity improvements and time saved are notoriously hard to convert into financial returns. IBM research distinguishes between hard ROI, direct profitability impact, and soft ROI, employee satisfaction, decisions, those types of things. Both matter, but you need to know which one you're actually measuring. And if your success metrics require a paragraph of explanation, the pilot probably isn't ready to scale. Question number 3 is, does it require process redesign or just tool adoption? Because tool adoption is faster to deliver, but delivers incremental gains. Process redesign is harder to deliver, but delivers transformative gains. Most stalled pilots sit in an uncomfortable middle where they need to process redesign to deliver value, but they were sold as tool adoption. So be honest about which category your pilot falls into and resource. And of course, what you need out of this, the reason that this supposedly 5-minute podcast is now into its 6th minute, is the permission to stop. So cost thinking keeps failing pilots alive for too long. Deloitte found that despite unclear ROI, most organizations are not holding back. Investment continues to grow, driven by a fear of falling behind, and we see it all over the place. In the AI companies themselves, but also out in the real world. One exec quoted, "Everyone is asking their organization to adopt AI, even if they don't know what their output is. There's so much hype that I think the companies are expecting it to just magically solve everything," which we see time and time again. And of course, like some places, it does magically solve things, but that has to be well-defined, and someone needs to know what they're actually wanting the AI to do, not just magic fairy dust over everything. Retiring a pilot that isn't working frees resources, attention, and credibility for initiatives that actually might work. And you can also apply the failings from that pilot into the new one, and that might also be AI-driven as well. You don't know, do you? The MIT research noted that companies are often hesitant to share failure results, which suggests that most know they have pilots that should have been wound. So what to do this week? Inventory your current AI pilots and categorize them. Scaling successfully, but salvageable, or stalled and unlikely to recover. For stalled pilots, apply the 3 questions. Be honest about whether the answers suggest continued investment or graceful retirement. For pilots worth saving, identify the specific barrier. Is it data quality, integration complexity, unclear ownership, lack of process redesign? And consider whether your organization is trying to build what it should buy. IT is finding that purchase solutions outperformed custom builds is worth examining. What can you just get off the shelf? What can you go and pay a license fee for? And it just do a better job because those guys focus on doing that one thing really well. The closing thought, the 95% failure rate isn't destiny, is a reflection of how most organizations have approached AI so far. Companies in the successful 5% aren't smarter or better funded. They're more disciplined about connecting AI investments to business problems and more willing to stop what isn't working. The question isn't whether you're experimenting with AI, it's whether your experiments are designed to become products or just designed to demonstrate activity. So there we go. This has been the AI briefing. I hope this has been useful. If it has, feel free to share it with any other engineering leaders and executives that are struggling with where to use AI in their ecosystem. Ask questions in the comments below, or whatever podcast environment you consume this in, so that I can help tailor these podcast episodes to be better suited to the audience out there. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with another AI briefing. Bye for now.